Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, where
Oh my God.
where Jim doesn't know what he's doing, and here we
I'm
are.
not doing this, dude. Welcome to Pull the Pin Already. Oh my God. Talk about technical difficulties. Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promised you would give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate,
Let's pull the pin. All right.
and we don't know what's happening.
I have no idea why that just glitched out. Hopefully I can fix it in post, but
It
if
didn't glitch on
not,
this side.
if not, who cares? All right, then. Well, welcome to all of you again. And I say all of you because I mean like all three of you. Um, to start off, I remember we had that little discussion about one of our posting sites where we were not sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear from Johnny, so not quite sure what's the deal with that. But I don't know if we want to extend it a little bit further to find out if we're going to keep posting there. But I also didn't get any nasty posts either, so I don't know what's going on. So it is what it is. I guess we'll let it ride until we have a problem. Okay, sound fair? Great. Let's move on.
Let's do it.
So we're going back to our favorite, war room editions where we pull some headlines from mainstream media, and we talk them from our perspective. We talk about them from our, that glitch just got me all off now, man. Holy cow! I don't know what the heck just happened, but we talking about them from our perspective as average veterans. And why is that important, Nate?
We're just average veterans. We've been on the world, and we know everything.
And how do we know that?
Because we've never been fact checked.
Booyah! All right, so that's great. So we're going to talk about some headlines because we know you haven't had time to read them and research them. So we're going to not read them and research them and tell you what they're all about. So let's get into this, or whatever. That's not a new thing I'm going to go to. All right, our first headline. Russia says drones likely damaged Moscow buildings before dawn while Ukraine's capital bombarded. I don't know what the hell this really means, but I know Moscow was hit with something.
Yeah, they had like 8 drones go over and attack Moscow, supposedly.
I know it was minor damage, right?
While Moscow was bombing drone in Kyiv.
So maybe those were Russian drones that just
Came back.
Target not found.
They got scared and came back.
Defectors. No, we're not supporting this war anymore.
I didn't even know there was still war going on over there.
Yeah, right. Well, that's funny. Like,
it should be about time for us to send them some money, right?
Exactly, a couple billion, right? Well, it's funny though too because I don't really know who does care anymore. You know what I mean? Like
probably
on one hand,
the Ukrainians and Russians.
No, probably not. Probably not even, right? You know what I mean? Like on one hand, like we're at the brink of World War III, and on the other hand, people probably don't even know there's a war going on anymore. You know what I mean? It's just the weirdest thing in the world. Like I almost feel like we're being set up the whole time. It's like a fairy tale that they want us to keep going along with, and then tomorrow, there might be nukes everywhere. Who knows?
Well, let's hope not.
You know what I mean? I hope not too. But
yeah, that's when it first started, I was like, oh man, here we go. Then I was like, damn, Russia's pretty weak. Now I'm like, damn, they still fighting?
Right? I mean, it's just it's almost like getting like ridiculous now. Like, I mean, I don't know, dude. Let's just go on, man. Because I don't know what else to say about it anymore. Because unless it's World War III, unless it's really going to happen, and if it does happen, what are we going to do? We're not going to be prepared for it because nobody's going to know what to believe, right?
It ain't gonna happen.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't want to say any more about it. Let's go to the next one.
We want to get fired up, huh?
Well, I mean, this kind of makes sense too. This is Biden marks Memorial Day nearly 2 years after ending America's longest war, loud troops sacrifice.
Well, I'm glad
what is that word?
I'm glad he allowed the troops sacrifice. Why do you show respect to the troops, Biden?
Well, here's the funny part. Just when I read this myself, it makes it sound like he ended the war.
Oh, he did.
How did he end the war?
Because he said, come home.
Right. And then he complained about Trump's evacuation plan, right? So if Trump had an evacuation plan, how did you end the war?
Because he was in office.
Right. The war ended while he was in office, right?
Yeah. That's how it works.
It's just so stupid, man. Look how he ended it. Look how he botched the exit.
Well, at least he lauded the troops' sacrifice they made over there. That was nice of him.
And well,
Sure, someone had to tell him to do that, but
he was able to do this because we got a new war started that we can support.
we're, we're not in no war yet.
We can end this war because we got another one over here started, so we can't handle two at once. So let's just end this one here. Let's see how long we take this Ukraine thing, and then we'll see where we go from there. What's the next war? Is it going to be Taiwan? If Ukraine gets cut short, we'll go Taiwan war.
Oh, there'll be somewhere something.
Yeah.
We can't have peace around this world, can we?
No, not while we got companies making missiles and planes and stuff.
We don't
But
even have
that's
peace in our own country, let alone around the world.
right. That's job security, though, right?
Well, yeah, it is.
Well, that's what I say, right? War creates jobs, right?
Well, when the next war breaks out, I know what to invest in since I was in the last two wars. So,
Yeah.
as long as they use the same stuff.
Right. Well, you can invest in it anyway because most of the guys have it. I think there was a headline I saw. I didn't really pay notice to, but it was something about somebody getting awarded, like Boeing or one of those companies, getting awarded like some 150 million, billion, thousand, quadrillion. You know what I mean, to make stuff.
I'm
I,
sure.
I, I think it was one of those. Yeah, that's the whole back and forth, and all these darn warmongers got stock or they own part of the
Oh,
companies,
definitely
uh
have interest in them.
right? So no surprises. War is war. I'm glad I'm not in anymore. I don't want to be fighting all these dumb wars. And it's funny too because I go to VFW and stuff like that, and there's a lot of guys in there from the Vietnam War. And you kind of look at these guys, and it's interesting. They wear their hats, you know what I mean? Their little Vietnam vet and their hats, like I don't mind it, when you're going to the meeting, but these people wear it around all the time. And it just kind of blows my mind because like the Vietnam War, they didn't get a good reception when they came back, right?
No,
That
not
was
at
a
all.
horrible
Yeah,
experience for them. So you'd think they would be hiding that stuff. When nowadays more soldiers now hide their service than show it.
yeah,
So
but a lot more people are appreciative of it now than back then too. So,
well, sure, but then we could also say, let's be fair, they earned it a lot more than we did too. You know what I mean? Our military is getting a lot easier. It's a lot easier to not that we don't recognize the sacrifice, but it is getting a lot easier. We got a
that's
lot more technology that they didn't have. We can drone instead of sending a whole brigade. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's they were men, man. They were tough men. Not to take away from them, the military today, except for you Navy guys. Just kidding, just kidding. You got the Air Force too. Hey, but in all seriousness, it's getting to the point where what I mean, like we're not even going to have much
Ground
military going
ground wars.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't ground war. We just pound from the air.
right. Or cyber, or what I mean. It's gonna be almost really where the only force is going to be the army anyway, because it's only going to need to go in and occupy. They're not going to have to fight. I mean, isn't that what China's trying to do to us, right? Take us down from the inside and then just occupy us.
Just by land.
Mm-hmm. They already own all that land.
Wonder how many Americans are buying land in China.
None. They're not allowed to.
Oh, well, this is way off subject. Let's get back on the subject and go to the next one.
Far right members, I love it. You know where this source came from. Far right members unhappy with debt deal float threatening Kevin McCarthy's speakership.
This is how stupid politics is. They can't even get along in their own side.
Well, right. Politics are politics, right? Everybody knows that, right? So here's the challenge in all this. First of all, McCarthy wasn't being voted in. The Uniparty wanted McCarthy in because they're all one party. But the people who actually want democracy, they want for the people that actually want to defend and make things right, didn't want McCarthy in. So you already knew McCarthy was going to be a shill. He came out fighting for publicity. He put on a good show. You knew at some point he's going to roll over.
Well, those people that didn't want McCarthy in, I don't think they were far righters though.
So they are now. They're MAGAs and far righters. Yeah, they are now. That's what they're calling them.
You can call them whatever you want to call them, but they're not the far right of the Republican Party that they didn't want him in.
But dude, that shows you the bias of this whole thing. But that's why they're unhappy. I mean, you, the American people, look. I'm not a far. Am I a far righter? I mean, Mike James might say I'm a right winger, but I don't think I'm a far righter. You know, I mean, I don't think I take this whole debt ceiling deal crap. I mean, it's garbage stuff. You know what I mean? The thing they passed originally had some concessions, and they still raised the debt ceiling. But now what McCarthy and all them are giving into, it's just like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I don't know what all is included in this debt ceiling thing,
Well, make it
and
up, dude.
and nor will we ever know what's all on it, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, you
And
won't know
you
till you pass it.
and you know what? The far left members are unhappy with the deal too, so
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, you ain't gonna know till they pass the bill, and then
And
you're gonna
even
see all
even then,
that.
we ain't gonna know.
No, you won't. Right? You'll just see
No,
money going out the back door. What's that couple million for?
no, it's in
Oh
the
yeah,
bill.
it's a diversity training for you know.
Well, Space Force needs training now because all these other branches have been getting tons of training. It's time for the Space Force to get trained up on this stuff.
There's a coffee shop in San Francisco that needs a diversity position,
Yeah, get the Pelosi.
right? It's just crazy, dude. Crazy. But this is politics. We know it, right?
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Why
Politics is
can't?
way too big. They all need to be overrun and start from scratch again.
Yeah, but how do you do that? Like, how do you really do that? Because you think the people waiting in their, their shadows coming and waiting to step in aren't the same way?
I
Like,
don't
dude,
think. I think if you put an average normal person, if average normal person goes in there and wants to do it, then we'll be good for another 100 years until they get corrupt and we got to start all over again.
but what is the average normal person? Let me give you an
Me,
example.
you,
Well, right, you think that,
person
right?
next door,
Well, we probably got some bias. We need
probably.
some other people with some different opinions on here anyway. But I'll give you an example. I was at a coffee shop again and just made casual conversation with this old couple and nothing serious. Like I don't just jump and talk politics. And so we're talking to these people like, oh, where you from? Yeah, from here. So he starts complaining about his town because another town on the other city, which is kind of liberal, all the people are moving toward his town because there's no room over there. Sounds like New Jersey from New York, right? But he was complaining about it, right? So I'm reading this guy. I'm trying to, figure out what he's doing, and he's talking about people how they're just picking sides and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like they're not even really about the issue. They're just picking sides, right? He says this, right? So the conversation progresses to, local government and how we need to get involved in all this stuff here. And then it kind of goes into the, well, overall political people, you know what I mean? Just politicians. And I said, and that's why I think a lot of people like Trump because he wasn't a politician and he did a lot of the things he said he would do. This dude, a switch just flipped in this dude. I'm not going to look you in the face when you're talking to Trump. Dude, talk about Trump derangement syndrome, right?
You
I didn't even say I supported Trump. I didn't say I liked Trump. I didn't say anything but the
don't.
name Trump.
That's it.
And this
Woo!
dude went off. And before that, we're having a 20-minute casual, logical conversation. He just goes off the hook. These are the normal people you're talking about. These are the normal people.
That's a good point.
And it's crazy because you think about it. We can go to school and have entire classes about Hitler. And look what Hitler did. We can talk about Hitler. They write books about him. But yet you mention the name Trump and these morons, and I'm going to call a moron. Yes, you old man, you old fart, get the thing out of your ass and, put it back in your brain. They just go off by the name. Talk about it. You don't like the guy? Make a case for it. You can't tell me he did everything wrong. You can't tell me. Half the country voted for this guy. You can't tell me he didn't do something right. Talk about the guy. Don't just get triggered and go, you know what I mean? I don't
Half,
get triggered when people say Biden.
half the country voted for him too. So let's just move on.
Yeah, right. Let's move on to some common sense, right? Oh,
Here we
wait
go.
a minute. Wait a minute. This might be a little bit extreme. But Uganda enacts anti gay law with death penalty for aggravated homosexuality.
Well, how do you prove aggravated? I mean,
That's what
that's
I
how they
think
get.
it means. What's that?
That's how they get away with it without It wasn't aggravated homosexuality. It was just regular homosexuality.
No, I think it means with sex toys, right? Because
Oh
aggravated
no,
robbery has to be like with a weapon.
with a toy. Oh,
Yeah, so maybe aggravated homosexuality is with a toy.
that's just stupid.
Yeah, well, but at least Uganda lets you know where they stand, right?
Well, so does America.
Well, I don't know. America seems divided on everything.
Well, you don't know if all Uganda support this.
No,
Uganda,
no.
the Uganda government says this, but you don't know if Uganda supports it.
But they seem to be going along with it. So I don't know, man. I mean, this is a good example. Like we in the military, we know this stuff, right? We've been around the world. We've seen different countries, how they work, how they act, how they, all that stuff. America has no idea. Well, I don't say America. I can't speak for everybody, right? But I mean, most of the people I've encountered, they have no idea what they take for granted. No idea.
No, not at all.
I mean, even the old man, I don't go back to it, but even the old man was like, Trump was a liar. Like, and I looked him in the face. I said, "You name a politician that wasn't. Like, are you really that stupid? Like, I don't understand your argument. Like, so these people have never been outside. They don't know what a dictator really is. I went to Cuba. I mean, there is literally a line and a minefield, minefield, whatever they call them something different, right?
I've never been to Cuba.
Well, be the water, the mines in the water. I don't think it's called the minefield because it's, anyways. But they're literally there.
Mine stream, Mine River. Oh,
Minecraft,
Mine River's in Germany. Never mind.
Minecraft.
Something like that.
But you get what I'm saying is like when you see this stuff for real, then you understand. Like remember we talked about January 6th. Like when you see this stuff, you know what an insurrection is. Like this stuff. These people are so oblivious. They just take whatever Facebook definition gives them, and they like, oh, and then they defend it to the death. Like, do you really know what you're talking about? Like, I don't even know everything I'm talking about. I mean, you do.
Yeah, well, I do because we
Yeah,
never
you
fact
do.
check. So yeah.
Right. You got all the answers. I just think I do. So, but these people, and I think that's the problem today with society. If people just can't admit that they could possibly be wrong, you know what I mean? Just admit you could be wrong. I mean, you're
No,
not
no,
wrong.
I'm
I'm
not. I'm
hardly
not.
ever wrong.
I'm not doing that.
Right. But I mean, regular people, you regular people, you guys out there. Not you veterans, like, but
Not
we
you.
do need some of
Not
you
you
veterans
average
out.
veterans.
Yeah, we
Mm.
do need to get some of you veterans out. I would love to, like, I think Mike brought it up in the beginning. We need a veteran with a different opinion, someone who can go back and forth with and try to banter with this. But I guess the problem is that not a lot of veterans have different opinions. Don't get me wrong, I've run into some very liberalish veterans, even some that like don't think you should be carrying guns. Like, what? Like what? Why would you join the military if you're not going to carry a gun? Like,
Free college.
right, free college. You're absolutely right, absolutely right. And then they go to that college, they get brainwashed. Say, what am I doing? What am I doing? So, anyways, I'm just rambling now. I feel like it. Somehow my internet got better too while I was talking. Maybe that's what
Perfect.
it is. Maybe I need to talk it in. But yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna wrap this one up. Thanks, Nate, for showing up. Thank all you for tuning in. If you are listening, watching, like, share, subscribe, and you know the usual. Just give us some money so we can keep making this free content free again. Until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.